And that even goes with the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goals. I mean, if you're not scared of it, it's probably not big enough.
Welcome to Professional Builders Secrets, a podcast for building company owners wanting to grow safely and securely. I'm your host, Will Blunt, and today I'm joined by Jay Mostyn from Luxury Lifestyle Homes in Brisbane, Australia. Jay, welcome to the show.
I will.
Great to have you on today. You've been around the traps at the APB for quite a while now, but we've finally tracked you down and going to ask you a few of the secrets.
Yeah, that's it. Part of the furniture, but yeah, here we are.
No, very good, very good. So tell me more about Luxury Lifestyle Homes and how it all started.
Yeah, so Luxury Lifestyle Homes is probably about 3 or 4 years old now, running. Prior to that, there was a few little speed bumps along the way. Started out as a carpentry apprentice, as most builders do. Went into more contracting, a lot of renovations and all that kind of gear. And then we're trying to get into new homes. So, decided to go down a franchise group route. Wasn't really the answer that we're looking for. So we kind of got out of there. And then from there, we kind of started the slate pretty clean and, luxury started.
Yeah, nice. So just purely based on your name and a bit of digging I've done, you're at the top end of town in terms of the custom homes you build?
Yeah, we're on the north side of Brisbane, so pretty much service from the Brisbane River to the sunny coast.
Yeah, but in terms of the type of homes you build, are they at the top end of town, like the bigger,
more spec'd up? Yeah, definitely not looking at the project builder kind of range. It's more the really bespoke kind of design homes, and working with architects, designers and all that kind of stuff to get the clients what they want.
Okay, so you work with architects quite a bit, or do you have a design portion that you do yourself as well?
We've got an in-house designer that we work with. We kind of find that's a smoother process. A year or two ago, we were working with outsourced, your architects, designers that run their own little gigs. Felt there was a pretty clunky kind of way to go. And a lot of the time, by the time we get involved in the process, it was already too late. We throw the price at a project and then all of a sudden we're the bad guy. So, we kind of went reverse engineered it, as APB kind of suggests as well. Get in early and then just provide a smooth process and in that prelim stage. And, clients and both clients and ourselves are a lot happier that way.
Yeah, it sounds a lot smoother. I guess the client, the experience for the client would be just, seamless compared to what it could be with multiple people involved.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we pride ourselves on. We do the client journey is our motto. Kind of try to smooth out as much as we can in those early stages so they can kind of enjoy the ride. It's a pretty stressful scenario no matter what kind of home you are building. So if we can kind of alleviate some of those, we definitely try.
Okay. So before we dive into all the stuff about your business, which I'm really excited to get to, take a step back for a sec. You said you started out as a carpenter. How did that all come about? What made you want to get into this game?
Yeah, to be honest, like from school, I didn't have a building background at all. Parents let me go pretty loose when I was a kid. Wasn't too academic. Didn't really try too hard. Probably chasing soccer balls and sports and girls too much. And then as a kind of the years progressed, I ended up on a building site, and I actually came home one night to the missus. We're married now, and kind of said to her, I think I want to build houses, and it's a funny story. I haven't really told too many people, but she was, "Oh, you want to be a carpenter?" I was like, "No, I just want to build houses," and I didn't even know what a carpenter was. I thought a carpenter was a guy that laid the carpet, and I was like, no. So that was a pretty embarrassing start to it all. But as it evolved, you start at the bottom of the chain. To be honest, digging holes and doing whatever it takes to get your nose in the door. And as it kind of progressed through the years, I was pretty lucky to spend some time with some good guys that taught me a lot of things. And we kind of progressed from there. So there's a lot of things that, I don't know, you get taught, probably not bad habits, but not business. But you learn how to build houses, not a business. So, and that's probably the missing link where I ended up where I am today.
Well, you don't know any better at that stage, I guess.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And I'm always open to new ideas and better ways of doing things. I'm pretty fixed on how I want to do it, but if there is a better way, I'm all for it. So, That's very right.
So those builders you worked for when you were a carpenter and digging holes and all that kind of stuff, are you saying you learned a fair bit of them from a building perspective more so than a business running perspective?
Yeah. Like, and I was pretty lucky. Like, you do find a lot of carpenters are very good at putting up frames and doing their trade. I was probably exposed to a bit more of the running of a job site and the management of trades and working in with other trades. So that helped a lot in the transition from carpenter to builder. So that was pretty good. But again, yeah. As everyone kind of experiences, you know, as your career develops, you kind of find the missing gaps and try to fill them up as quick as you can.
So when you finally pulled the ripcord and started your own building company, what was the biggest wake up call you had?
There wasn't, I mean, I've always been a worker, always first there, last to leave kind of scenario. So the work really didn't worry me. I mean, in those early stages, you're gone by 5 and I mean, you're still doing quotes at 9, 10 o'clock at night. So, you know, in those early years, the work really didn't worry me. I think as it all progressed though, I think probably one of the biggest challenges was working on the business, not in it. And that's still a struggle even today. You know, I mean, I love getting into it on site and all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, you've got to run the whole business as a whole as well. So yeah, it's probably one of the
what does that, like, what does the difference between on and in the business mean to you?
Probably jumping on the tools. You kind of do that for so long and so used to doing things a certain way. In your own mindset, you feel like you're the only one that knows how to do it that well as well. So you've got to kind of try to get out of that mindset and get into, okay, these are the roles that you're going to kind of set up for different people and let them go. So 90% of the time they will do it as good as you, if not better. But it's just a mindset thing. But yeah, trying to get out of that, that's probably a big thing that everyone goes through.
What process did you go through to try and give up that control?
It wasn't really a process. It's been a process with acheiving and Andy being the coach and all. Probably kind of keeping on track with the company goals and career path that we want to go down. We can't reach those goals unless we stick to a certain path, if you know what I mean. So once a month, once a week, it's once a week now. We kind of catch up and kind of bring it all back to a, you know, are we on track? Are we off track? Generally, if we're off track, it's because I've been on site chucking up frames or getting involved in a lot of stuff that the boys can take care of. But you know, I mean, you kind of just jump in and mind games with yourself.
Well, I guess what I was trying to ask is, what makes you want to get on the tools? Is it to speed things up? Is it because you want it done to a certain quality? Or
I think it is to speed things up. I think it's easy as well. It's an easy way out. You know what to do, you know how to do it, you know how to do it well. Whereas the working on the business is probably a little bit harder, and you don't feel, sometimes you might spend a bit of time doing a bit of paperwork, but you feel more accomplished building something. So that kind of habit, I suppose, kind of creeps in.
So what other challenges have you faced in your building company over the last few years?
Honestly, there's challenges every day. I don't think they will go away or they get better or worse. It's how you react to them. I'm a pretty glass half full kind of guy. Like, stay pretty positive. If something shit happens, you know what I mean, it's for a reason, and you know what I mean, tomorrow's a better day. So not to get too bogged down with it. Obviously with COVID, you know what I mean, the leads and materials, and you know what I mean, now we're into trade shortages and all the rest of it. In the next 6 months, there's going to be something else. So I kind of try not to get too bogged down on the issues that we're facing, because you know what I mean, we're always going to have some kind of issue. Just got to deal with it at the time and make the best of the situation. Yeah,
I love that. It's a good way to look at it. If you get too bogged down in that specific issue, you probably start drowning.
Yeah, you've got to be open-minded. You've got to be aware of it, but probably just don't, you know what I mean, the mental health kind of scenario of builders, and it's a pretty lonely place out there. You feel, the only guy doing the thing, doing what you do every day. But in saying that, everyone's going through it. And as I said, next 6 months, there's going to be something else that we don't even know about yet. So you just got to ride the wave and see what tomorrow brings.
What things have you done to deal with that, I guess, loneliness as a business owner or a builder, where you feel like you're going through these challenges by yourself?
Yeah, I've got a few mates that are the builders and run their own businesses as well. So I kind of try to stay in contact with them. Try to be there for them as well. You know what I mean? It's not just myself. Just make sure they're, you know, if they're going through a shit time, make sure we kind of keep in contact. And I find even with the APB get-togethers, and I haven't really been involved with the chapters, but I mean, having a business coach as far as APB and Andy, it just kind of makes you, okay, you're on track, you are going in the right direction. You're not grinding away for no reason. You are actually ticking off your annual, quarterly, monthly goals. So there is always progression. I think before that, you can get caught up in the grind a lot, and that's where it can kind of spin out of control too. I see a lot of people, I mean, day in, day out, getting on the tools, grinding, and it's you kind of don't really achieve as much as you think you are at the time. So yeah, I think the goals and the APB structure, I think it's helped a lot with my own mental space.
You mentioned goals a couple of times. That's obviously like a guiding light for you in a way. Would you say that's true? Or
yeah, I'm pretty goal and systems orientated. Like it's I mean, we've got the next 5 years planned out. I mean, we've done a few retreats every now, over the years. And we just adjust those as we move along. And that probably helps with the mental well-being of running a business as well. There is a goal at the end of, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's probably another thing that kind of gets us through each day.
Can you talk me through the goal setting process, how you went about setting those 5 years goals and how it helps you day to day?
Yeah, like I'm pretty ambitious. Like I've got pretty big dreams and goals and how I want to live when I retire. I've always thought ahead. Probably not to the extent of what I have set up now, but it's really just standardized. Okay, this is how we want to live. This is what we want in life. Breaking that down, whether it's living comfortably, really wealthy, living on the beach, living in the country, whatever that scenario is, we've kind of broken that down into, okay, to get to that point, we've got to turn over this amount of money, net profits, all that kind of gear, and kind of work it back to even a job value. And by doing that, it all links back to the avatar that you're chasing and the jobs that you're chasing and the staff. And it's a big revolving door that you've just got to explore a bit with it. Personally, I think that's the big thing. It's not just business. You've got to personally want something big to chase, if you know what I mean. And if you consistently just ticking things off the list to get to that point, you feel good about it.
Yeah, and everyone's in business from a personal reason, I think. It's one and the same, right?
Yeah. And I think you're built for it. Like I say to a lot of people, I couldn't work for someone. I did my apprenticeship with a guy, and I'm pretty thankful he kept me on because it was very my way of the highway, even when I was younger and didn't know anything. So I think you kind of built a certain way, and I don't know if it's ADHD or whatever it is that we've all got, but I'm sure there's something that they can probably tick me off on. But running a business just keeps me busy. It's either that or I'll be doing something else as well as another job. So yeah, I think personality, you're either built for it or you're not. From
a tactical perspective, where are your goals sitting? Are they in a spreadsheet? Are they in your office? How are you kind of tracking those?
Yeah, we've got spreadsheets set up through Google Docs and all the rest of it. Honestly, we commit to the retreat every year, go away, kind of bit of a reset. This is where we were last year. This is where we are this year. Generally, we're on track. It's definitely working for the past that we've been working on it, but we've definitely ticked those bucket list items off. And then that kind of gets broken down into a 12-month. We do an annual planning exercise, and then every quarter we go, okay, well, based on this, we're just going to break it down. Have we ticked off these items from last quarter? If not, they'll have to get shoved over into quarter 4 or whatever quarter you're in. And and just kind of keep progressing to that major goal.
For anyone that doesn't know what you're talking about with the retreat, you're talking about APB's annual retreat, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And that was in Hawaii this year, I believe.
Yeah.
And what's that? That's a 3-day intensive workshop to set your goals, essentially.
Yeah. Really just get you out of the business. And that's where it all comes from. Hamilton Island was another one. And over the years, you kind of just keep building on it. And the same thing goes with the workbook stuff with APB. I can't remember, what levels there are or whatever it is. But you kind of buy into the first little level, and you do a bit in those modules and the spreadsheets and all the rest of it. Jump into the coaching, and it gets a little bit more advanced and deeper, as you say. And I'm with the elite coaching at the moment, and it's deeper again, if you know what I mean. So I kind of find as the years have progressed, Hamilton Island and Hawaii are very similar, but you're just getting deeper into the goal setting. Is this what we really wanted? and just keeps defining and defining and defining. And the clearer it is, the more likely you're going to achieve it.
Yeah, I like that. What is it about? I mean, a lot of people set goals. I've done it before. I'm sure there's lots of builders out there that have done it. They'll set a goal and they're super excited about it at the time they set the goal. But then with maybe a lack of progress or something, they just end up, not reaching that goal or giving up on it or something like that. What makes you stick to your goals and keep pursuing them?
I think the constant reviewing, a lot of guys, New Year's Eve, you go and write your bucket list items down for the year. You want to achieve this and this and this. We review our financials and sales and everything. I was going to say quarterly, but it's probably monthly. Monthly, we really go through everything and how we're tracking for the quarter. And then, as I said, so we've got, the next 5 years, 12, 3 years and 5 year plan set up. We kind of just make sure we break that down to suit the 12 month. And then, we actually start our 2024 planning in probably November. And then we've got to give ourselves a month to just fine tune things. So we're not, overwhelmed at Christmas and panicking in January that we haven't done it. And then just break that down into quarters and then just revisit it every quarter. Are we going to actually achieve that big bucket list item that we wanted to achieve? You're more inclined to reach smaller goals than a big goal too. So if you can kind of just chip away at it, it might even take you 2 years. If it takes 2 years and you achieve that goal, well, yeah, so be it. So, and that even goes with the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goals. If you're not scared of it, it's probably not big enough. And in saying that, I've said to a lot of people, my goals are pretty big, but if I get to retirement and I achieve half of it, I'm probably still going to be pretty happy. So, it's a bit of a mindset thing as well.
I mean, what kind of things are you setting goals for? And you don't have to get specifics into your goals because it's quite a personal thing, I imagine, but are you trying to increase profitability, margins, growth rate, or are you trying to look at things external to that, like how many holidays you take and things like that? What are you setting goals for?
There's, to be honest, there's a retirement age. But in saying that, I'll never retire. I've kind of committed to that. I love the game. And that's the joy of it all. But having a business that runs itself, that's my big thing. Not sure what I'm going to do once it's running myself because I'll be probably that pain in the ass guy in the office. That's making everyone's life being painful. But yeah, that's probably my big thing, just to kind of get the systems and everything set up for this to run itself. But yeah, and then there's lifestyle choices, whether it's, where you live, how you live, how much you want to spend each year. Obviously my wife's probably got bigger shopping habits than I do. So I've got to
spending goals are a bit higher than yours.
Yeah, I've got to keep that level up a bit too. But yeah, mine's more so just making something work. There's the whole goal of setting up the business to run itself. I think that's my biggest goal, and to get to at that retirement age. And when I get to that 5 years and it is, well, I'll just have to reevaluate it and set another 5 year plan. And
then you're looking at that kind of guiding light and breaking it down into chunks that are smaller goals, which build up into that. Is that right?
Yeah. So just bite size. And it's one of those things you can cut. I want to buy a Ferrari next Christmas or whatever that big goal is. You don't want to get to next November and go, fuck, where am I going to get this 500K from? Whereas if you can kind of break that down into quarters, all of a sudden we're only talking 100K a quarter. If you break it down into a 2 year plan or whatever it is, whatever car you want or house or whatever it is, it's just easier to swallow, if you know what I mean, and more likely to be achieved.
Is that Ferrari one of your goals? Did you let that slip?
Nah. I always say, probably some kind of supercar one day, but I've got an old 79 series cruiser that I'm happy chugging away in. So yeah, it's one of those things. I'll probably have it, but I'll never drive it.
Yeah. Did you get your wife involved in your goals?
Yeah. I've done a lot of planning over the years and done it solo a lot. But yeah, I find going away, you achieve more as a team. And that works as at home and at work. You can jump on the tools and build a house by yourself, but you're going to get quicker doing it with a team. So if you can kind of incorporate your personal goals, and that's what I said about the shopping habits. That is part of our retirement plan because I'm not looking to set this business up and then get divorced and go different ways. You kind of want to, you both want to be happy, if you know what I mean. So there's a lot of sacrifices that wives take. We don't work together in the business. She does her own thing. Does a lot of this, looking after the kids kind of scenario. But yeah, there's takes two to tango and to make something work. So she lets me kind of run my thing, and she takes a lot of control of the home life.
Yeah, but you've got shared life goals, right? As you said, you're working towards something together, which is nice.
100%. Yeah.
I'm interested to hear more about the systems, because I'm sure there's a lot of builders out there that love the idea of that, that long-term goal of having the business run itself. So what are some of the systems that you're working on in your business, or you've already worked on, which are working towards that goal?
Yeah, we've kind of, you touched your toe in a lot of waters, different software programs, packages, all that kind of stuff. I don't think there's a one size fits all. We had, obviously we had a job management program, Co-Construct, with Co-Construct for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years. Put a lot of effort into that, and into the schedules and to-dos and all the rest of it. Probably wasn't as advanced, and honestly, Buildertrend bought out Co-Construct, so it's pretty common knowledge. Probably got cold feet beginning of the year, so we kind of jumped across to Buildertrend. We've committed to putting a lot of effort into Buildertrend. Even had a project management company kind of set that up for us, because to be honest, we did try another program over programs in the last 2 or 3 years, and you find it's too hard. You've already got enough to do, and then you're trying to implement a new program that you're not totally 100% sure on. So then you jump back to what you know. So yeah, honestly, we've got Buildertrend as our job management program. That's going to be our main hub. There's a lot of schedules and checklists and stuff that we're going to incorporate into all the schedules, not just construction either, like in the pre-construction phases of each project. Obviously Xero kind of sits in the background, but yeah, we're going to have Buildertrend running a lot of the business by the time it's set up properly. Once that's kind of running and we've found our feet a little bit with that, we've kind of committed to Systemology as another platform to help people that come into the business find their way of doing things. And then, we're probably going to have like a Google Docs or a OneDrive. We've got OneDrive at the moment, just as a library to have everything, but realistically trying to streamline it so no one's really reliant on anyone, if you know what I mean. You just, how do I do this? And it's just a link after a link after a link. So, it's kind of the path we're taking.
We actually gave out the Systemology book at the Professional Builders Summit on the Goldie.
Yeah.
The book there, Dave Jennings, is that his name?
Yeah.
No, very, very helpful information. It's great.
Yeah. And honestly, I've only read one book in my life, and I get given a lot of books, but audio books. There's a lot of other ways to get through it as well. Kind of beat myself up a bit that I didn't put as much effort into school life as I do now. But even builders, we're always in the car. Turn the radio off and try to build some kind of habit to listen to podcasts or audio books or something while you're driving around.
Audiobooks are great. I do audiobooks as well when I'm driving. It's a bit hard to take notes while you're driving though.
Yeah, that's it.
What's your favourite book that you've listened to?
I've got multiple. I don't really have a favourite. Yeah, I don't really get too locked down.
Has anything had a huge impact on your business?
Not really. Like as I said at the early stage, I'm pretty open-minded to change. Love change, but you got to be careful not to flood yourself with ideas as well. You can read 3 or 4 books in a week, and you're like, "Fuck, this isn't the right path we thought we were going on. Maybe we should be doing this," and you get a bit confused, and you don't do anything. So I'm pretty cautious about just kind of keeping emotionally in charge, and just kind of take advice, think about it. If you can implement something, you do. But probably The Power of the Subconscious Mind was one of the big ones that was the only book I ever read. I was told to.
Oh, the physical one. Yeah.
I think I must have got grounded or banned or something from something. And but the mindset. If you think something hard enough, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I like that, and I like that you've taken a different perspective on reading. There's a lot of people out there that would tell you, you need to read a ton of books to learn, which is true to a certain extent. You need to be always actively learning, but if you're not putting that into action and keeping a clear focus around your goals, like you mentioned, then it's kind of wasted energy, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You got to have the action behind it. Like I speak to a lot of people, even the book, The Secret. I don't think I've ever read The Secret, but I've heard about it, and it's a mindset. It's all mindset. If you think you're going to be rich, you'll be rich. Well, you're not going to be rich if you don't put any effort to get there. So there's good and bad. There's a method to each book, and everyone needs guidance in their life at some point. But I mean, the action's a big part. If you can't put the knowledge into action, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned APB a fair few times and working with Andy Scarter, who's our head coach. What is the one thing that you've taken away from APB? It's had the biggest impact on you and your business.
Probably, to be honest, probably all of it from a business point of view. I mean, I've been down the franchise route and a few other different avenues, and they're all good and bad. I mean, I could call out a lot of negatives, but I could, from a negative, there's always a positive of some sort that you got to pull out of it. But with the mentoring and coaching and stuff that they offer and that I do, and I think it's just bringing it back to running the business. I think that's the biggest thing that's kind of changed within my life. I mean, if I didn't jump in, and I was always going to jump in post franchise, that was the plan, and that's how I wanted to get to my goals. Bring it back every week to say, okay, look, where are we at? Are we good? Are we not? This is what we need to do to implement this or that or whatever issue there is in the business. Like, there's always issues, no matter, the next 10 years, I'm still going to be, I'll probably be chatting to you about another problem, They're never going to end. But just bringing it back to solving it, and so you don't have to live through it again. That's probably the biggest thing. And
so if you're sticking around for 10 years, that's good.
Yeah, well, I've got my eye on Andy's retirement, so I've threatened him. I've got to reach these goals before he hangs up the hat.
Okay, that's a good measure.
Yeah.
It sounds like it just kind of keeps you in line with what you're trying to achieve, and always resets your thinking when it's easy to get lost in the business, right, week to week.
100%, yeah. As I said before, like building houses, for builders, it's easy. That's the easy part. It's all the other stuff that's a pain in the ass or hard to implement because you know how to do stuff, and you get through it, and you fumble your way through whatever other side there is to the house, as apart from putting the nails in. But implementing and building and creating something that's going to run itself, that's, you need help.
What accountability? Sorry, say again.
And accountability.
Yeah.
You can chuck your goals down on a piece of paper, but if you're not checking in, or and that's probably half of it as well. As much as we don't like being someone looking over your shoulder, you can kind of skip past a lot of things and go, should we do it next week? Next thing, it's 2024, 2025, and you haven't done a thing about that goal that you wanted to achieve 2 years ago. So, yeah.
That's a great point. And bringing your wife into the goal setting scenario probably creates a bit of accountability as well there.
Yeah, that's it. So, with inflation, those expenses and shopping lists are going up and up. So, got to keep an eye on that.
What advice would you give other builders out there that are going through the journey at the moment and are setting similar goals to what you talked about?
Probably just keep an open mind, really. APB, it's there and it's great. I can't say a bad thing about it. It suits me, but the time was right when I'm a bit of a thinker. Like, when I come across something, I'll never sign up on the spot. I'll go through the sales spiel or whatever it is, have a think about it and go back to it. With the goal setting and all that kind of scenario, it's a personal thing. It's you. It's not APB or whoever you're dealing with. It's your goals and how you're going to achieve it. If you can achieve it by the way you're doing it, that's all well and good. But for myself, I just love the accountability.
Yeah. How long did it take you from finding out about APB to joining? Do you know?
It was pretty quick.
I thought you said you were a thinker.
So, yeah. When I say that, I was part of the franchise, and I found you guys when I was with them. I couldn't really implement anything because I was governed by certain rules. And Andy often says that he was the easiest sale he's ever done because I just let him go through his sales, the speech, and then it's like, yep, that's fine. Let's sign up. We're done. And, and the time's got to be right. And a lot of the time you talk to a lot of other builders that are around, whether you're in the group or not. You kind of get to a point where it has to work. You're at the bottom. It's not good. Things aren't good. You're hitting not rock bottom, but you're pretty close to it, and you've had enough, and you need to implement stuff. Otherwise, you're out. And to be honest, I've been there a few times. You get to a point where you're like, if this doesn't fucking work in the next 12 months, I'm going to go work at Bunnings because I'm done. I can't, this is just not stacking up, both financially, personal life, family life. There's a lot of aspects to it. And you just got to find that balance.
So what's next When do you next? We've spoken a lot about goals. When's the next review happening?
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah, the quarter four. So yeah, generally it's every quarter we kind of sit down, go through it. They're not too strict. I mean, you kind of amend it, change it, whatever. Things change throughout the year. Some of the goals on the 12-month plan isn't going to happen due to whatever circumstances. But I mean, overarching, you've still got that fish dangling up in the distance. So you've got to get there somehow. But yeah, you just got to ride the wave and push as hard as you can.
Awesome. Well, Jay, thanks so much for coming on Professional Builders Secrets today. I've had a great time talking to you. All about goal setting has been the main topic of discussion, but I think it's a really powerful thing for builders to start thinking about. Getting that big, hairy, audacious goal in the future and kind of chipping away at it every day is really, really motivating, actually. So yeah, really appreciate you coming on and sharing all your insights.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No worries. Also, a big thank you to our listeners out there, wherever you are in the world. If you like the show today, please subscribe to Professional Builders Secrets on your platform of choice. And if you're feeling generous, leave us a review. But until next time, have a great day.